So you've added your repeating tasks to your project plan. Now you're ready to finalize the last items on it by adding a few notes that you don't want to forget about particular tasks in your project plan. And you do that very simply. For example, when I'm going to present the development site to my client, I want to make sure that I give them a working copy of it. I want them to get a feel for what I'm giving them. So I want to make sure that when we get to that point, we are going to have enough time to present the whole concept, the whole web design to my client. I do that at this particular stage. So I select the task that I want to create the note about, and I double click on it. What that does is it brings up my task information dialog box. I make sure that I click on the Notes tab in order to allow me to add the information in. And in the text box that I see here, I just add my note. So in this case, I want to remind myself to ensure the client has a working prototype to review. And I click OK. Now notice what happens to my Gantt chart. I have an icon in my indicator column that identifies I've put some notes within that task. As I mouse over it, it shows the notes to me so that I don't have to open up the whole task to see what I've written. But it's a nice way to include the information and remind myself of what I need to do for a particular task. Now, once a note is entered, it's going to display this way as a visual reminder, and I slide the mouse over to read it online. But what happens if I'm printing out my project plan? How do I see this information? I can simply add the notes to be printed off by going to File, Page Setup, and under the View tab in my page setup, I'll click Print Notes. Now let's see how this looks. If I click Print Preview, you'll see a nice preview of the project plan. And as I scroll through the different pages, the final page of my project plan will be a listing of all the different notes that I have made with the particular tasks that's associated with them right above it. So all the information can be printed very, very easily. Now that we've learned how to get our tasks into the system, we've done a lot of the hard work. We've got all the legwork done. We know what we need to do. We know when it needs to be done by, and we've identified how long it's going to take us to do. Now you want to be able to take a look at the interdependencies about how these particular tasks relate to one another. So that's what we're going to take a look at in the next chapter of Movies, creating relationships between tasks.